Welcome, welcome. No Guts, No Story. Today we're doing this a little different.
We're live.
We're live.
Yeah.
I got me a guest on here today. And we are going to bring you guys some amazing value. So if you're watching us live, I want you to comment live. If you're watching the replay, comment replay. Never mind my dog food and water here in the back and a crazy kitchen going on.
Yeah, literally the last 9.5 minutes has been a tornado as Barb rolling through the kitchen going, Dave, clean off the counter. Dave, take a picture. Dave, there's stuff on the counter. Can you imagine? Can you imagine my life the last 10 minutes knowing my kitchen?
Oh, you know you love it. We have so much fun.
Well, welcome, guys. I don't know where you're all at, but you should drop in the comment what the temperature is where you are.
It is cold here.
It's minus 7,000. Once you get past -4, I think it doesn't matter anymore.
It is cold, but this morning we were just reflecting and looking out the window. I told Dave, what is today? It's the second week of January. And on January 1st, everybody set some goals. Drop in the comments if you sat down on January 1 with your calendar. Maybe you did your dream board with me. We did a vision board. We wrote down what we wanted. It was the new year, new you, new me, new bank account, new health, new fitness goals, new business goals, new spiritual goals. And then what happened? Somebody tell me what happened. Are you crushing it? Or did life happen and you're like, well, we had some goals, but we haven't really communicated about it. Like we're waiting on people, or like we have some goals, but we're not real clear about it. Or maybe you had some smack you right in the face, just some things that you hadn't planned. Well, today, what we want to do is just prep you. So imagine like when you do your makeup in the morning, you put on prep, you put on a primer, right?
I get it.
When you get ready for your new year to be your best year ever, like you can't just go. Like you got to get prepped and get ready, because if not, you'll get on track and then you'll fall off track. And you'll get on track and then you'll fall off track. And then you'll think you know that you know that you know, and then the powers of the universe will tell you, yeah, that's not happening for you right now. And what you have to do, this is what me and Dave do every day. You're either in the vortex or you're out of the vortex, right? And once you're out here, it's really hard to get back in. So this guy, the reason I have him on today is because he's the master of this. No. He can put a spin. Yeah. I mean, I can put a spin on anything. I think
anybody can. Anybody can. We just don't.
But
it's real simple.
But we got conditioned to that because of mentors in our life. And so we're going to back way up. Mentors. And today we're going to share with you a story of these two kids, two sparrows and a hurricane, I would say. Dave and I were both engaged. I was 20, you were 22. And it was August of 1993. And all of a sudden, we came together in this vortex, and I was not in a good spot, guys. I was not in a good spot. And Dave told me that where he was in Kansas City was on the way to South Dakota, and I could stop by and see him on the way to go see my dad. True story.
You know what? Sometimes if you tell a little lie, it's not a little lie. It's just a fib. And if it's to get what you want, then I mean, there's no harm.
You never lie. It was
an 80-mile-an-hour detour, and it changed your life. So
it did.
I've heard this complaint for 30 years. I told her the wrong address. I didn't tell her the wrong address. I wanted her to come to my house where I was in Kansas City with my uncle at the time.
And you know me, I didn't have a map, and I was looking for landmarks, and I was just a hot mess express. And here we are. But that day, Dave, I was in a really bad spot.
Well, I think, just going back to what you said in the beginning, I think a lot of people, and as human beings, we're placed in bad spots. It's not a bad spot. It's bad if you think it's bad. And I learned this a long time ago. We've heard this a million times. Good and bad doesn't exist. It's what you make it. It's what you think about it. And, we're going to share some things today about your mindset and how so many people want to set goals and they want to get ahead, and I want to get ahead, and I want to lose weight, and I want to go on vacation. I want a different job. I want more money, my relationship, make it better. All of these things. And I'm going to say something. I'm going to probably say it 38 times. This tiny little circle right here, this little dots, that's what you have right now. That's my cup of coffee. That's my wife. This is the home, my kitchen. That's everything I have right now is in that circle. Everything outside of this circle, that's what you want. That's what you want. And all the stuff out here, you don't even know you want it yet, but it's sitting out there waiting for you. And here's the challenge. How do I get all these things into my little deal right here? How do I bring them in? And you talking about when, we were younger, I want you all to think about mentors in your life starting when you were 2 years old. Because here's the challenge. Everybody, our mentor told us a million times, you become like the people you hang around. Your income will be the average of your 5 best friends. If I heard him say it once, I heard him say it a million times.
Scared the hell out of me.
You need some we were both
we need some new friends.
Yes, we did. But think about this. You're 2, you're 3, you're 4, you're 5, you're 6, you're 7, you're 8, you're 9. Where's your mentors? You don't have mentors. You know what you have? You have people saying, no, you can't. No, you can't. Go to your room. No, you can't. Get in line. No, you can't. Color within the lines.
Stop talking.
No, you can't. There's lines on that coloring book. You stay in that line. Stop talking. Be quiet. Miss Chatterbox. I told a story yesterday.
I lived in the Chatterbox duck chair.
She talk. I know you can't imagine
Mrs.
Barb
Hoss.
talking.
This was what she always did to
Kindergarten.
me. Chatterbox duck chat, and she would go.
So
and I would get reprimanded.
How many of you, up to this point in your life, or whether you're at 16 or 18 or 28 or 38 or 58, I don't care. Age doesn't matter. The question is, where's your mentors? Because most people growing up don't have mentors.
True.
You're lucky if you have amazing parents, which most people do. I have the most amazing parents in the world. And that's okay, but a parent's job is to protect you. A parent's job is to go with the flow and go with the norm, make sure you're a good person in the community, follow the rules. That's what a good parent's supposed to do. Very rarely does a mentor come along and say, hey, wake up. You can have and be and do all the things you want, and you can set goals and you can have them. And all of a sudden you get this tiny spark inside of you, and then it goes away. Nobody ever pours gasoline on the real passions inside of them. Nobody pours gasoline on the goals and dreams they have. Just like Barb said, you set a New Year's resolution. By January 3rd, March will come around. You'll go, I set that goal on January 1st. I didn't do it. I was going to lose 20 pounds. I gained 20. What the heck's going on in my life?
And not only that, Dave and I had dreams and goals. Well, I came to him in Kansas City. You guys got to imagine this. I owned a dance school. I owned a salon. And believe it or not, I was a distributor in a company called Amway. And I thought I was going to be rich beyond my wildest dreams. I thought I was going to marry this guy that was the wrong guy. And I had my whole life planned out. Like, we had dated since I was like 12, right after Dave took me to the movies and sent me a red rose.
Yo, drop in the comment if anybody ever dumped you. Barb Zorn dumped me. 12 years old, skating rink girl. She ran the skating rink. And that's back when they had the tight little short things that you
the little athletic shorts
in the mid 80s. And she was I gave her her first rose. Like, I bought roses.
I still have it. It's
I'm 11 years old,
scrapbook.
asking my mom, like, how do I buy this girl a rose? Like, I would sit on the phone with her. What's back when you had the cord phones? You had to stretch from the wall, go hide in a closet so you could talk to your girlfriend.
I can tell you the whole playlist.
And then one day, she's gone.
No, I was lost. Like, I was a girl that grew up in a home where my parents were workaholics. And let me tell you what they mentored me. This is what they mentored me. This is what's in my blood. Work.
Then work some more.
Yep. And then work some more.
and it's not just Barb. It's her whole family. They own businesses, are at the top of their game in everything they do. All they do is work.
Here's what they did not teach me. Personal development, being in alignment. I felt like if you sit down, you're worthless. If I went to bed and all the socks were not mated, I would get disciplined when my mom and dad got home. I was the oldest of 5, and so I'm a nurturer. I contribute. It's the way that I got love and recognition. And Dave and I grew up in 2 completely separate kind of homes. His mom was a stay-at-home mom. She was the most amazing mom in the world. My mom was driving 2 semis, running a trailer court. They owned part of a Sonic. They owned a grocery store. They had cattle and sheep. I woke up to a baby lamb in the laundromat. We were trying to keep warm. They had real estate. They had a campground. We had a putt-putt golf course. Like my mom and dad were so busy making a living, there was no time to really make a life. And Dave's mom was at home when he got home from school, baking cookies, making casseroles, going to baseball. He was in sports. I never could have been in sports. I had 4 kids, like an appendage, from 3 years younger than me all the way to newborn. And my mom was a single mom by the time I was 18. And so my belief systems, and we're talking about your mindset, when I saw everything that we had come crumbling down, my belief system went, do not trust. Men are bad. You know, I was in a horrible relationship. He's a cheater. You know, like I got belief systems and a mindset that was very like an insecure girl, very, I wasn't the most compassionate, loving girl. And the first time I ever heard my mom say, I love you, I was almost dying with our firstborn. I had toxemia help syndrome. Now, Dave's mom, when we first started dating, it was like this. I love you, honey. I love you, honey. One day I said to him, oh my God, your mom's on you more than I am. Like she is so lovey.
Barb
And
wouldn't
so-
even, but here's the deal. It's not that Barb was standoffish. It's not that she didn't care. It was her way of caring. Because when we first met, I would open the door for her. I would try to hold her hand. She would pull it away.
Yeah.
I'd open the door. She'd go, you don't have to do that. I would try to hug her and she would hug me, but it was kind of one of them.
Like hugging a stump.
It was like, when we were first together, if she took a bath in the bathroom, the lights were out. The first 6 months,
I was
lights were out.
incredibly insecure.
She would not allow it. I could never. It was a growth process.
I needed a mentor.
Yeah, and we all need mentors. We all need that new mindset. And if you're whatever mindset you're in, it's good and it's serving you. I don't care if you're a crazy, hard working, crazy worker person like Barb, or if you love Netflix and you can't wait for the next series to come out and binge watch it in 2 days and get 3 hours of sleep.
Automatic income reducer.
That's me. I like that. She
Automatic
hacks on me.
income reducer.
She hacks on me. I'll be watching television. She'll be alone. You could be making money. You could, not all the time.
We got things to do.
But we got things to do. Let's go. And I'm like, no, I'm going to chill and relax a little bit. But what I'm saying is, wherever you are is right where you are. And that's fantastic. Like, that's a really good place to be. And it's crazy. Isn't it crazy? Think about this. Most people where they are, they don't want to be there. Think about that. And usually it's money. Usually it's finances. Usually it's a relationship. It's the things I have. It's the things I'm thinking about. I'm looking forward to. Here's what's crazy. Think about this. Look around your home at all the pictures. They're all from the past. None of them are about the future. We are creatures of habit, and all we do is think about our past, and it just continues to try to pull us back and pull us back. Most people don't have that. I'm going to set a New Year's resolution, get a goal. I'm going to set a goal. I got this dream. I got this idea. Most people have it, and then it stops.
A little man on your shoulder.
It just stops. And, we've learned every book you read, any book on personal development, growth, they all talk about habits. Addiction classes, they all talk about habits. All an addiction is you have a habit to feel good, and you're going to find any way you can to get it. And so many people are addicted to outside things because they're not addicted to their inside thing. And that's when you're setting goals and you get that burn and the hair on the back of your head races up and you're like the kid before Christmas, like, oh my God, life is amazing. Most people don't live like that, and you can. And that's what mentors did for us.
We needed them.
We did. And I was probably, 17 years old. I went to school on a baseball scholarship. Mom was a single mom. Really didn't have 2 pennies to rub together. And again, my mom and dad were amazing. I had a fantastic life growing up. My parents were incredible. They split up when I was in high school, all good. But financially wasn't good. So financially it wasn't. So I had a full ride baseball scholarship, and I met a guy on the rodeo team, threw my baseball scholarship away, and I bought my PRCA card, started riding bulls professionally when I was 17 years old. I drove to Nebraska with one of my best friends, Sean Huffman, and I met his dad. and his dad handed me a book because his dad knew Sean. Sean and I listened to tape cassettes on the way to Nebraska that said, "Do not listen to this if you're driving." And it was to subconsciously make us better at what we were doing. And he handed me a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. And it's one of the very first books I ever read that told me your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and imagined. Everything.
And you tried to give it to me, and I thought you thought I was a psycho.
Yeah, she just made fun of me.
I mean, on your first date, don't give your date a book and say, you really need to read this.
I was drawing circles in the dust.
No, he drew this on the back of my little convertible. And here's what. I can't
believe you.
No, I drove there.
I cannot believe you.
I literally ran away from a wedding. I got in the car to go see my dad, who I had not seen for 4 years in South Dakota. I was trying to deal with all this trauma, abandonment. I'm about to get married. It's going to be the same situation my mom experienced. Like, I was trying to make a wrong a right, trying to make somebody love me. And one day Dave called me for a haircut. Now you got to hear the backstory, you guys.
You don't need to hear
He's laid up. He had a bad injury. In fact, we're going to the PBR this weekend and I cannot wait. But Dave had a really bad bull riding injury and he was engaged and I was engaged. And a horrible thing happened. He had a near-life death experience in Scottsbluff, Nebraska on 4th of July, which they call Cowboys Christmas, right? And it's August the 15th. So he's been laying on a couch, stinky boy, for 6 weeks, right? And his hair was like Keith Urban before Keith Urban was cool. So when in the 90s, a mullet was the bomb. I
had a mullet, but it was everywhere.
It was everywhere. It was like to here.
It was a mop.
A mop. So he calls me for a haircut.
I was on my mom's couch. I couldn't move my leg. I broke my kneecap and both bones, shattered everything from my knee down. They said you'll be lucky to walk again. I was actually in Scottsbluff, and this surgeon, one of the greatest surgeons ever, happened to be there teaching a class. He looked at my injury and said, "This is a challenge. I want this one." And I happened to be at the right place at the right time. He fixed my leg, and you wouldn't even. I mean,
you hobbled for a long time.
I had a chicken leg.
You hobbled up to my window, and your little bird leg. Oh boy, he looked hot. Let me tell you. He had hair to here. He had a bird leg. He had crutches and a half top that said OP, Ocean Pacific. Oh, yes. And you got to understand, guys, I had dated the same guy since I was 12 in a very toxic relationship. I did not have a lot of mentors. I worked. I took care of my mom's kids. I tried to help my mom survive, and I was going to beauty school because there was no chance I could go to college. Dave was an incredible athlete. His dad was the baseball coach. He was an incredible baseball player. Then he's riding bulls, riding 80% of the bulls. Like, he is like, everybody's like, have you seen Dave Pitcock in the newspaper? Like, he was the heartthrob of the town.
She's just good at telling
He was.
stories.
My sister and my cousin were in the salon that day when he called, and he goes, "Hey, Barb, I'm at my mom's." Now, little did I know, you guys, the night before, let's do the backstory. You got to read our book. You got to read my book to hear the story.
Can I go do something?
No. We got to tell this story. Then we're going to tell you how mentors changed our life. I'm with my sister on Main Street, back in the days of dragging Main. Did any of you guys have a Main Street where you just drove up and down the same street, wasting gas, probably drinking and driving at the time, honking your horn, waving at your friends? Like, this is before Facebook. Socializing was like, go downtown, right? So I'm with my sister. I'm engaged. I'm going to the mortuary to do my great grandma's hair the very next morning. Like, it was not a good time. My great grandma had passed away. My boyfriend was cheating. I had taken a couple of thumps from him. I wasn't sure what to do. And Heartthrob calls for a haircut. Heartthrob.
She's
cowboy.
She's just good at telling
Stetson.
She's just good.
Buckle. Like, my sister and my cousin are like, "Oh my God, Dave Pitcock called you for a haircut," and I'm like, "Nope."
Shorts, t-shirt, and a ball cap. She's lying.
I'm like,
about everything.
"Nope."
Lying about
I'm
everything.
booked until Tuesday, right? Waiting on Tuesday, guys. Don't wait till Tuesday. Whatever you do not put it off. I told him I can cut your hair on Tuesday, and he had talked to his brother, who was incredibly inebriated the night before, on Main Street. And when my sister and I pulled up, my sister Lori dated his brother Scott. So she pulls up, she's in her Jeep, got the top off. We're listening to Lori Morgan, May the Best Woman Win. He literally looks at her and goes, "What in the hell are you listening to?" And the only thing I said is, we would get along a lot better with your brother. That's all I said. Intoxicated brother goes home and tells Dave.
Now I'm laying on the couch. I can't move. My brother walks in the door and goes, "Yo, Pity, Barb's orange. She literally told me tonight she wants to marry you. Why aren't you talking to her?" And I'm like, "What?" I go, "What are you talking about?"
I mean, look at these blue eyes.
And I'm like,
can you imagine?
And my brother played it up. He goes, "Oh my God, she's dying to come over."
He lied.
But it worked.
It worked.
Because he planted something in my head. And I'm like,
you believed it to be true.
Maybe I should call her. And that's why I called for a haircut. It wasn't because I needed a haircut. You weren't even on my
radar.
You weren't even in this part, Barb. You were down here in this corner.
It was never going to happen.
I didn't even know you were out there.
Never in a million years.
My brother says, "You, Barb, she's dying, man. We talked to her for an hour. All she talked about was you."
It was all a lie.
And I'm like, "Seriously?" So I call her. I have a little confidence, and all of a sudden we start to talk, and it gets closer and closer. And it's just.
And what was on my radar, you guys? I was in a horrible relationship, and this is what I was dreaming. Amazing husband, 5 kids. He stopped me at 3 because we had those babies quick. But I'm telling you, on my dream board from this company that I was failing in was amazing husband, children, family, house in the country. I even wanted to be a network marketer, but I failed so horribly that when Dave and I got married, I was like, never doing that again. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. That is a big old scam.
We did it.
And we decided that we would get together and we would work, because that's what I had been mentored. So Dave and I, fast forward, Dave has incredible mentors. He's writing 80% of the bulls he's getting on. He's traveling with some of the #1 people. Success breeds success. I want to open a salon. I go to Hays, Kansas. I drag Dave there. I look at the nicest salon. I want to crush it. We do it. I want to open a salon because I have 2, or a dance school because I have 2 little girls. And I used to teach dance in my first engagement. His mom was my dance teacher my whole life. We go find the nicest dance school in Hays. I went to Jackie Kramer. I said, "I know you have your shop. You sell shoes. You do this, you do that." Dave cut a hole in the garage, put in 2 sliding doors, laid a wooden floor, and we opened a dance school. You guys, if you go find somebody that has what you want and you work harder than them and you stay learning and growing and you get in the right mindset, you don't have to worry about that. You get your radar and your dream board and you stay in the right mindset, close to the fire with the right people, magic happens.
Now,
so what happened next?
Well, here's the challenge with that. That's easier said than done, because we all want to be better and we all set these goals and we want the better relationship or the better job, or I mean, we all live life, and you have this gift of life. You have this amazing gift. You have this amazing, you're the most amazing thing on the planet. Like right now I'm looking outside at this landscape of snow and trees and ice, and I got bird feeders
and a beautiful red cardinal that just keeps landing.
But here's the deal. If I in less than a half a second, I can see the whole landscape. There's not an AI program or an artist on this planet that I could call right now or try to program to create the landscape I just saw in less than a half a second. So your ability to see the things you want in a half a second is there. The key is to keep it there. The key is to keep things in front of you long enough and have that feeling that I am excited. I'm going to have that. I'm going towards this. Most people don't. They get beat down like they've been beat down their whole life. You don't have enough money, stand in line, color in the lines. You have teachers, preachers, coaches. You have all these people. They really don't have your best interest. I mean, they want you to be successful, but not that successful. But they want you to stay in the rule, follow the rules. I'm not saying don't follow the rules. I'm saying follow your rules. Most of us, here's the deal. And again, I don't want to get on some weird tangent.
No, that's going to start Monday for 21 days.
But there are only 2 things. There are only 2 things that control your entire life and have everything you have, who you are, how you walk, how you talk. 2 things. 1 is the outside world and what you think about it. Yep. And 2, your thoughts. That's it. There's nothing else controls your life, because a thought hits you, you get a feeling about it, and then you have emotions. Yep. The emotions are what run your life. Yep. And most people don't choose. 99% of the people out there, you're worried about the news and the CNNs,
The
and
lack of
and
money,
the politics, and the no money, and this person doesn't
your
like
health
me.
situation.
And this, they're letting the outside world hit who you are. And there's a you in there that's the most powerful, special thing in the world. It took me a long time to figure this out because I'm thinking I'm me. I'm thinking this is me. This is not me. My body, my face, all this, that's not me. You could put me on a table and cover me from the neck down and start cutting off limbs and look me in the face and say, are you okay? And I'll be, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. You can take my body away. That's not me. The real you and you is in there.
Spirit.
You just lost who that is. You don't know who that is. You have an inkling every now and then because you're like, oh, I want to go book. You feel like the kid before Christmas. That's the you. But the problem is we let the outside world hit us, and we have these thoughts and the energy, the emotions, the feelings we have from these thoughts. That's what runs our life. That's what runs our life. That's why they call it dis-ease. It's not a physical thing. It's a mental thing. You're not congruent. You're not congruent with why you're here. When you're 1 and 2 years old and you're a baby and an infant, you're pretty congruent. You're happy as a lark. You poop your pants. Somebody cleans you up. This is great. I'm hungry. They feed you. This life is like you
they
love
it.
You. It's
they
amazing.
You.
And then one day you do something and they go, no. And you're like, what the hell just happened to my life? And then from that day on, you're beat down. You're told no. And I don't think that's the way it was meant to be.
Little stop programs that happen.
A lot of stop programs. So what I'm saying is having mentors. You all want to be in that mindset of feeling good all the time. And having mentors is a big part of it. 17 years old, I started to have mentors in the rodeo industry. When I was young, I had mentors growing up playing baseball. When we got into our business of direct sales in 1995, I had a mentor. My best friend, Bert Leach, handed me a set of cassette tapes from Jim Rohn called The Art of Exceptional Living. I never listened to stuff like that. You can set goals. You can write stuff. You can write shit down and it comes true. Are you kidding me?
And this was a big switch for us.
It said, write your wildest, craziest goals and dreams. I'm like, y'all are idiots, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to do it. And I'm going to tell you what, I could go get my tote out of the attic, and every single thing that I wrote down in 1995 and 1996,
brought it to fruition.
It's all happened.
Except world champion bull rider, because his dreams changed.
Yeah, your mentors change, your dreams change, your energy changes. A lot of people, we do exercises. We're kicking off something next week, 521. But your dream, you think you know what you want until you write them down and define them. And then you're like, wait a second, I don't really want that. How long in your life have you thought you wanted something and you figure out you don't really want it? You wasted your entire life not being you, trying to be somebody you're not, based on what? Outside thoughts? That's not you.
He's going crazy.
Wake up. It's not you. It's not you.
It's not even that you wanted the things that you wrote. You wanted the results. So maybe you didn't want to be a straight A student. Maybe you didn't want the master's degree.
But the outside pressure of being the A student made you want to be the A student. You didn't want to be the A student, but you had to be because of social status, whatever.
Expectations of other people impressed on your life. So here's the thing. I know it drives you crazy. So Dave and I, now I'll tell you, my number one mentor in my whole life was my grandma. Dave always calls me Barbara Sue Mills Zorn because she literally instilled such a faith and belief in me. But I was falling away from that faith. And I was really falling away from it because I had a lot of stacked beliefs that God wasn't real because I had so much pain. And I will tell you, Kelly said me the past year. So I will tell you, Dave comes into my life. I'm completely broken, a lot of abuse, a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, a lot of grief. And he starts praying with me. And I'm like, he's so hot, but he's a weirdo. He read the whole book of James today and wanted to give me a lesson on it. Dave was on a spiritual journey at that time that I wasn't really on. And you cannot change the people around you. You just need to be better at being you. So stop impressing your beliefs on all these people that you love and just be a better version of you. Because when they see your happiness, they see your glow, they see your energy, they see where you're going, you're going to attract the right people. And when God removes something from your life, let him. Like I was like, I'll buy my own engagement ring if you'll just marry me. And this total opposite thing of what I needed in my life was not congruent. The person I almost married could never have children. Can you even imagine my life without ever having children? And then
But
Dave comes along.
Those passions of what Barb wanted. You talk about the law of attraction.
It works.
You talk about
prayer.
You talk about, meditation, prayer, law of attraction, meditating, thinking of the things you want. There are things so deep inside of you that create who you are. You don't even know who they are. And that's the power of prayer and meditation. You go off quietly every day for 10 or 15 minutes by yourself, get rid of the noise. You're going to figure out who you are and what you want. Mm-hmm. But even though Barb had this bad quote, what she thought was bad life, and this is what I wanted, guess what was happening?
It was bringing
It was pulling it to her, whether she wanted it to or not.
And it was painful.
And we all live that way.
Yes.
It's so true. We all get, we get, here's the deal. You said it the other day. We've heard it a million times. What you want, it wants you. And it's begging to come to you. Like the things that you want that get you excited, they get you excited for a reason. And you have one life. You should be excited every day, every minute, every hour about life. When you're not, that should be a signal. Wait a second. I'm not where I need to be. Am I thinking of outside thoughts? Did something outside happen to me? Did I listen to something? Did I hear something? Because this is not congruent with who I am and where I want to go. You got to learn to see that every day. Because what happens is you let that go for a day, it's okay. You let that go for 10 years, you messed up.
Yep.
You just wasted 10 years
of your life. But it's never too late, you guys. And this is a course that Dave and I could do literally like a college semester. Why
don't you learn this stuff in school?
Oh,
that was my biggest deal. When I was 19, 20, 21, I'm learning this stuff. I'm going, there's not a class that teaches you how to feel good. There's not a class that's dream building 101. You don't get to know any of this stuff. Like
you can be book smart. You can be book smart and have zero wisdom in life until you attach yourself to the right people. And the problem is that if you don't get with the right people, what is this string hanging out? If you don't get with the right people, you will become a person that you aren't really destined to be. And so the thing that I want to say to you guys is, Dave and I fell into something in 1996. Fix that string. It looks like my hair's doing a flippy.
Yeah, you got your cool little ribbon thing.
I don't know why I put that. It's freezing. No, I don't need it. It's freezing out. So I put on the warmest sweater.
String.
But then I'm late. So I got on my frequent sweat.
String is gone. Hope you don't need that later.
I don't need it. But what we did, you guys, we attached ourselves to people that were so far out of our comfort zone. Yeah. And we spent 27 years going to an event every 3 months.
We hung around dream builders.
Yes.
We hung around dream peddlers.
We have an education in this.
That spoke energy and dreams into your life. And I'd never had that.
And we also have experience, and I want you guys to catch this. Failure is on your side. And some people have a failure and they chalk that up as, oh my gosh, Dave and I were married for 3 years, had 2 babies, 1 on the way, and followed Bob Dole from our hometown, Bob Dole for president in 1996. We risked it all. We put ourselves out there, work. We went on the tour. He didn't get president, and I could blame it on the government and the party and whatever. Bottom line is, it didn't work out. And we were highly invested, and we were in a bankruptcy situation before most people my age had even finished their 4 years in college. And I'm so grateful for that.
I was thrown in jail before that.
Yeah, Dave got arrested for a $7 check because Chance was colic and his formula was expensive. Yeah. And, people look at, oh my God, my name was in the paper. I failed. Keep on failing. Keep on failing, because those people you're worried about aren't doing shit. And they're stuck in this little rut of their little perfect world in their misery. And misery loves company, and they won't rock the boat, and they won't take a risk, and they won't grow, and they're afraid of what everyone else thinks. You guys, that was traumatic before Facebook, before Instagram, before Twitter, before Snapchat. Right now in this world, people make a mistake, and it's like, oh my God, I'm telling you, The obstacle is the way. When you get fired, when you lose your car, when your income goes away, when your boyfriend cheats on you, like, listen, the obstacle is the way. And God has this life for you, or your higher power, whoever it is. What you want wants you. That dream wouldn't be in your heart if it wasn't meant to be. And when you have this dream, nothing will keep you from your destiny. We were destined to meet. Our moms ended up being best friends. They were both single moms. I mean, we were destined to be together. Our brother and sister were having 5th grade birthday parties with a birthday on the same day. Nothing could keep me from Dave. Nothing can keep you from your destiny except you, because you're not teachable, you're not coachable, you're not in the right mindset. And the Lord keeps putting it right in front of you, like, hey, detour, detour. And you're over here, nope, no, God, wrong answer, wrong answer. You know, even when Dave came home, $250,000 in debt in our 20s, he comes home, Barb, I found it. I found the way. I was on my knees praying, Lord, turn the electric back on. Help me get my dog out of the dog pound. I need to buy formula. Bring the dance students. Bring the customers. I'm praying for a way. And the Lord sends it to me. And I'm like, no, God, not that. Never doing it. I was the most negative person you ever met in our entire career, Dave.
You weren't negative. You were just super positive and excited about your negative way of thinking. You were super positive. You were very enthusiastic.
And I was a dream stealer to you. Because I wanted to do
but here's the deal.
The traditional way I learned.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. There's 1,000 things that can emotionally mess you up. There's 1,000. I've had my younger brother, my only younger brother that I love dearly, took his own life almost 20 years ago. That was a messed up deal. I got thrown in jail. I've been through a bankruptcy. I've also drove and bought a new car. We all have things in our life happen. Here's the deal. Man, get this. An emotion hits you when something happens in your life. True. Mm-hmm. An emotion hits you. Could be fear.
Grief.
But what if you're able to take that fear immediately and go, this is a good thing? And that's what, we're Vibe 21. We're getting ready to do something. And it's
going to be
the whole philosophy is that there's only 7 or 8 emotions that run your life, right? Think about it. You can be angry, you can be sad, you can be full of love, you can be grateful, you can have hope, you can be despair. There's all these emotions. There's like 7 or 8 emotions, but there's 9 million things that can get you to one of those emotions. Here's the deal. What controls those emotions? You, your thoughts. And it's not usually you that's controlling them. It's the outside world and what you're thinking and what you're trying to prove and who you're trying to stand up to. That has nothing to do with the real you. Barb talks a lot about prayer and meditation. And to me, the definition of prayer is this. You go find a quiet spot somewhere. You close the door and you sit there and you just quiet everything and be yourself. Because what happens is you start to realize that these things in your life that happen, they are really blessings. Like you don't see it at the time. I broke my leg. I got flipped 15 feet in the air, came down, cracked my leg. I was in a hospital for 2 weeks. I never really got back to where I could really never do that again. And at the time, I'm 21 years old. Like I was just getting started. I'm 21 years old. And I'm thinking, this is bad. This is bad. I'm on morphine drip laying on my mom's couch. I bled out so many drugs. We had to throw the couch away. It was bad. But then one day, Barb Zorn walks in my house with her sister and throws me a pack of Little Debbie donuts. And I'm like, holy crap, it's Barb Zorn. This is the girl Chance, Chance Scott. I mistake my son and my brother all the time.
They're the same person.
Scott told me she wanted to marry me. She just brought me donuts. This is a done deal. And all of a sudden, this terrible thing that laid me
I was only there because of my sister. I was not a cheater.
Lie. She lies like a rug. She wanted me so bad. I know this. That
was our song, Def Leppard. Have you ever needed someone so bad? That was our first song, our first kiss.
But the bad emotion of this happened, poor me, despair, I've lost my goal, I can't do this anymore. Something was out here that I didn't see. And if I would have emotionally accepted that right away, it'll probably come faster. But we let our emotions push the things away from us. That is the law of attraction. That is being in the vortex. I mean, they talk about positive thinking. That positive thinking is just, it's meditation. Meditation is positive thinking on steroids because you've eliminated the emotions that are messing you up. There's only 8 or 9 of them.
Yep.
You know, I got hurt. I lost my deal, blah, blah, blah. Barb walks in. My emotion goes from despair, this sucks, to I'm the most grateful, happy, holy moly mackerel. I just met the girl of my dream. How can that happen in 30 seconds?
Emotions.
How can you emotionally change your life in
state.
30 seconds? Here's the deal. You can. You have that. It's your gift. We're going to talk about that in the next 21 days. Y'all, I got birds outside and squirrels and all kinds of stuff running around here on my property. Squirrels have to gather nuts all the time. Psycho-Cybernetics had a chapter on this. The only thing, creature, person, the only thing on this world that can choose what they want is a human being. Squirrels can't.
But most humans don't.
Squirrels got to wake up, and whether they want to gather nuts or not, they're gathering nuts. They don't know nothing else. That's what they do. That's their instinct. You know what our instinct is? Be the best. Be happy. Be the best. Be full of love. Be the best. Follow my dream. Feel good. Accomplish things. Help people. That's our instinct. But we don't follow our instinct. You know why? Because we have a choice. And the choice is the pits. Because the choice usually lets you go down roads of, wow, what if they're right? And what if they're right? You know,
it's our identity that we get. What if Dave's broken leg said, I'm never going to be a world champion. I'm never going to be great. All my dreams are gone.
That was my identity.
Yeah,
it was. I was laying on a couch done. I didn't care about nothing. Didn't have a job, couldn't make money. My mom, she had no 2 pennies to rub together. I'm mooching off of her, living on her couch. She's going to work, trying to make money. And here I sit, broken up. And she told me, well, you've got a baseball scholarship. You're stupid. What are you doing? You're dumb. Why are you riding bulls? You're what? Why? I don't know why my mom didn't kill me. My mom should have just killed me right there on the couch and just been done.
I'm sure it crossed her mind.
I'm sure,
but she was forgiving.
She was. She was a saint. She was a saint.
She was
to put up with me. She was a saint.
But the moral of the thinking that makes it so. Say that again. All the things that are happening to you are not bad. It's our thinking that makes it so. And if we hadn't bounced the check, we wouldn't have wrote a book on how to become financially free. If you had not lost your brother and had a life with addiction and single mom and all the lessons, you would have never started the course, The Thinking Cure. Had we not had a poor economy, he would have never gone to a meeting. Had we not had our utilities turned off, Dave would have never been right place, right time. And you guys, we had a mentor. His name was Kevin. He looked at Dave and I and said, you guys are the best. We're going to make more money in the next 90 days than you ever dreamt possible. And I remember telling Dave, that's what they all say. And Dave was listening to him, and there was a video, and it said, in his little infomercial face, and we'll see you on the beaches of the world. And I said, I'm washing a sour milk bottle with a bottle brush. I wanted to beat him with the brush. I said, I was in the kitchen. He's got a new mentor, going to make us rich beyond our wildest dreams if we'll just be teachable. I'm in the kitchen with my little bottle brush. We'll see you on the beaches of the world, and you can't even keep your utilities on. You're a moron.
She was very enthusiastically positive.
I was so pissed, guys.
She's very happy.
And the reality is Dave had dreams and goals, and the universe was saying, what you want wants you. He wanted to provide for our family. He wanted me to be able to be a stay-home mom. And I had a vision that I always saw that I would be able to help people and make money doing that. Whether it was hair, teaching little girls dance, whatever. I was teaching Sunday school. Like, I just wanted to be able to help people. And I was so broke, I couldn't even buy baby formula. But we had the dreams and the vision, and then we got the mentor. And I will forever be grateful to that mentor. Mentors come and go. Some come for a chapter. Some are there for a lifetime. You know, that company is no longer. But the lessons that we learned, I mean, the things he taught us.
One of the things our mentor always said was, learn it well enough to teach it. Learn it well enough to teach it. Because if you learn it well enough to teach it, then it's baked in. And most people they just didn't learn it. You hear it one time, you get excited one time, you set a New Year's resolution for one day.
Yep.
And the thing that got baked into us was it's this 21 days. It's this 21 days. If you're going to set a goal and you want something, you get excited about it, and
21 days,
the hair raises up on your head, then you need to put it in front of you for 21 days. And that doesn't mean think about it and then don't think about it again in a week. It's put it in front of you for 21 days.
Yep.
And what happens is stuff starts to happen. I'm just telling you, this is what you got. This is what you want. You put it in front of you every day. Something happens. You get a phone call. You hear somebody, you feel a little bad. Oh, something happened. You hear something, you read something on Facebook, it's bad. Oh, and then this
a bill comes, you open the mail.
And then all of a sudden you got what you got. And when you look back at the journey of that, you know what you usually say, you know what I say all the time? I'd have got it a lot faster if I'd have got myself out of the way. If I wouldn't have been so emotional about blah, 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 blah. And one of the things we're going to talk about, on this Vibe 21 is how you get through those things. Greatest gift I ever got was learning this exercise of getting over hangups. And being an ex-bull rider, I know what hangups are. You get your hand flipped over and hung up, you're screwed. You're messed up.
You're dead unless a clown gets you out.
They flip you around and break your legs, and it's being hung up is not a good thing. And most people are hung up in their life.
Most of their life.
Most people will let a simple act of the light not turning green fast enough run your day. Tell me I'm wrong.
Or someone cuts you off.
And you think about that. That's sad. You're right. And I've been this person. I can be both people. I've had people cut me off and want to chase them down and drag them out of their house and beat them to death. I am that. I can be that person. Can we all?
Not with me in the car. I always turn him around.
But can we all? We all can. Or I can be the person that cut me off and I go, oh my God, thank God it was me. I bet his wife's having a baby. I'm so glad I stopped and they could get on their way. There's always two ways to look at things. Mm-hmm. And here's what you choose on how to look at something. You choose on how to look at it based on the emotion you want, because your emotion is going to run your life. And if you get this, your life will change. This was the greatest lesson I ever learned. It's inspired me to do everything I've done. And when I get down in the dumps, when I am angry, when I am mad, I'm a shy, introverted person by nature. And I can get really angry at things. I've had things happen in my life that make me mad. And Barb knows this. It's a struggle sometimes for me.
It's why we work on our mindset every day.
And here's the deal. Everybody's real. You'll have 1,000 thoughts hit your head today. Which one of them are yours?
Yep.
And what emotion are you going to let attach to your neural pathway in your mind, the things that make you feel good? You know what makes you feel good and what doesn't. You can have the greatest day in the world and get a phone call and drop to your knees. You know that. It's an emotion. It's not the thing. There's a million things, but there's only 7 or 8 emotions. And what if you could get to where over 21 days you actually got to choose your emotion, even when the shit hit the fan? Because I'm still going to choose this emotion. What'll happen after 21 days or so, you'll be like, holy moly, something's not right. I feel different. I'm not the same. I'm not letting things run my life. You'll get to a point where you're like, I can control my life. Mm-hmm. I actually can set some goals. And I just think with the mentors we've had, and it doesn't even have to be mentors that are, these outstanding author, wrote a book. It can be a dear friend or a dear.
Your boss was a mentor to us when we were first married.
It can be a dear enemy that says something to you. That says a sentence. It could say one sentence, and that sentence triggers something, and that trigger creates an emotion. And that is like, that's a mentor. Like, that's a mentor. I just
21 days we're going to spend together, guys. Dave keeps saying.
No, I see. That hit my brain because I see my friend Chris Jorgensen on here.
Oh my God.
And Chris Jorgensen, in my mind, is a mentor to me because every time I see his name, get a text, see something on Facebook, the only thing I think about is me and him golfing, my Utah buddy. And that's a mentor. He's a mentor to me because the only feeling and emotion I have when I think of Chris is nothing but good and amazing times. Mm-hmm. You get to choose these things. I mean, you have mentors that bring that to you, but what about the side and the time of life when you don't have those things? That's what Vibe 21 is going to be about. We are going to figure out how to create these little neural pathways that you get to choose. You're going to choose your emotion.
And you can invite all of your friends to do Vibe 21. So it's going to be free. We're not selling coaching. We do this every day within our company for free, and we are going to co-create some amazingly successful humans. But for all of the people who are not in our industry that just watch my podcast every Saturday, or I've been doing this No Guts, No Story since 2006.
It's been a while.
Every Saturday morning, 9 a.m.
I put up this
line
for almost 20 years. This is every Saturday morning in 20 years.
Where's my stuff? Oh my gosh.
Clean up the counter. Clean up the counter. It's 9:01. I'm late. That's been my life for 20 years.
But today, Dave got everything ready so I could actually go I didn't get completely dressed. This is when you're on Zoom and you're on StreamYard, you know, you can look good from here up and be in your pajamas from here down. Unless you're on Instagram, you guys can see my frequent sweats here.
Yeah, I'm not even wearing pants today. So
oh my God.
Kidding,
Now we're getting everyone
kidding.
smashing the heart button.
Kidding.
So here's the goal. On Monday, in a private group that we have, it's a testimonial group that we have for people. In there, we are going to be sharing a link where you can get 21 days of a daily coaching session right into your email, free of charge. And if you would like to share your coaching link with other people, it's free of charge. You can bring your kids, your grandkids, anyone you think could use a change of state. Change your state and your mindset.
That's what it's about.
Change your life. So for 21 days, there's 21 lessons. And then we're going to have a follow-up. We're working on a workbook and a book. Here's the thing. You can send anybody who's a drug addict to treatment for 30 days. And they'll be fine as long as they're locked up in treatment. But the minute they get out and there's all the outside world, their environment
gotta have tools.
Starts to creep back in. And you can be broke, sad, depressed, in a horrible relationship, whatever it is. And you can get around someone, you can get the training, you can get the knowledge, you can have a mentor. We can all go to church on Sunday. But by Monday morning, we're cussing like a sailor, right? I don't know who he's talking about. But the thing about it is you've got to get in an environment and a culture where you can truly grow around like-minded people to be the best that you can possibly be. And that is our passion. Not attached to a business, just every single day.
Just feel good.
Just to feel good.
Feel good right now.
And we're going to create a ripple effect in 2024 of so many people leveling up, the mindset shift, the reset. It's never too late. We're 14 days in. If you want to be in Vibe 21, just drop in the comments, Vibe 21. Monday. Yeah. And if you share this link, everyone go. Darian Jackson said, Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen, DJ.
German here. For any of you that know someone that could benefit from this, we are going to ask you all to do a favor because everybody does what you tell them to do. So I want you to look on your screen right now. If you see a little red box up in the corner, right, live. If you're watching the replay, I want you to type replay. And let them know. And I would love for you to share, hit your share button and say, who wants to raise their vibe with me and do a 21-day challenge? And reach out and touch somebody. Somebody is on their knees praying right now, you guys. Every 6 seconds in America, there is suicide. Every 6 seconds. While I've been saying this sentence, someone pulls the trigger. Everyone, 1 in 4 is struggling with addiction. 1 in 3 is clinically depressed, asking for help. That's the United States statistics right now. We can be a light. All you have to do, share this live and say, I thought of you. Who wants to jump in with me on a 21-day mind shift? You guys, we will change so many people's lives. The plot twist is about to happen. The narrative is about to change for so many people, no matter what they do. And I believe Dave's training can literally change their life, whether they're in business with you or not, whether they're a college student or a dropout, whether they're married or divorced, wealthy or broke. Rich people aren't necessarily happy. I have been most miserable sometimes when I've had the most money, but you know what did make me happy?
Me.
Changing my mindset and Dave.
Mindset.
So our very first date on the back of my LeBaron convertible with nothing but $200, a pack of wine coolers and my blow dryer, I was headed to see my dad. And I was so sad. And I told Dave, I'm just running from a bad relationship. And Dave drew this little circle and he said, here's the thing. Here's you. And he had another circle.
Yeah, a little bit.
He was still drawing circles from the day I met him. Here's you.
I'm a picture guy.
Here's your problems. Here's you. Here's your problems. Here's God. He's always bigger than any of your problems. And there's nothing that you can't get through. And I remember thinking, he gave me a psycho book. Andy's a dork, but I kind of like hanging around with him. And I was looking at my future, married on Christmas Eve or run on August 15th. And you guys, people make decisions based on emotion. I could have made a decision based on emotion and fear that would have changed the entire trajectory of my life. But I had someone that said, you're beautiful, you're worthy, you are enough. You can be and do and have. And I'm looking at this guy with no money, no car, broken leg, no job, quit school.
Living the dream.
In the very first night with his broken leg in Parkville, Missouri, I said, do you want to go on a drive and go dream building? We could go look at mansions.
Weirdest date I ever went on.
I don't even know how we
were
ended
driving
up
around
together.
these communities that had gates. She was like,
I was sneaking in past the security guard.
She was opening gates. She shouldn't.
I was like, I just want to have a family and a house with some columns on the front of it. And Dave wanted a double wide trailer and some polyester curtains with a redwood deck. But here we are living the dream, because what wants you is all of the stuff that you have in here. You're just afraid. You're afraid to just break out of your comfort zone and go get it. So even if you're down and depressed, even if you're scared, even if you think this is a whole bunch of hogwash.
How do they join us?
All you have to do is type Vibe 21 in the comments, and whoever invited you to watch this live, whoever shared it, will get you the link on Monday. If you want to get a sneak peek, we can add you in our I'm Charged Up group. I'm Charged Up is a whole bunch of people we've been vibing with since Black Friday, and the link will post in there first, but every single one of you in there will have your own invite to create your own community. Think of it like when a church has small groups. This is like a small group session, right? It's not a church. It's not a religion. It's just a whole bunch of crazy, excited people and mentors in our life. Who were we with backstage at GoPro 3 weeks ago?
Patrick Bet-David, one of the co-owners of the New York Yankees and a multi-bajillionaire, one of the best business entrepreneurs. You guys probably listened to it in his podcast, but we're just hanging out. Like, we went and hung out at this dude's house that's a millionaire, talking about, home-based business stuff, and some of the top money earners on the planet are in there. And I walk around and I'm rubbing shoulders with these people because of Barb and her connections.
And me that doesn't watch TV.
I pinch myself. I'm like, these are some amazing mentors. I mean, you get to.
I drug Dave there.
You meet, and I'm not the guy that wants to go.
No, but listen to this, you guys. I don't watch TV every night. Dave is a comedy nut. Every night he turns on comedy just to laugh.
Oh, South Park and Family Guy.
Rob Dyrdek is what I was talking about.
Ridiculousness. If you're not into that, we can't be friends. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can't be friends. It's the weirdest crap, and it's disturbing. I cannot even have it on in the house. I just am like, I'm over here doing a live, and there's somebody telling some just joke, But Rob Dyrdek, Ridiculousness, we're in the mastermind group, and they say this afternoon, you're going to be mentored by Rob Dyrdek, the rhythm of your life. All I can say is we got to teach this to everyone. My favorite book of all time, The 1 Minute Millionaire. We're sitting there
he walks
in the living room, walks the author of my favorite book. And he's sitting there just mentoring us, 20 of us, just from me to you in a room. You guys, the mentors we've had and the things that have lined up are such a blessing. And we have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks. And I know that you can't get from 0 to 200 in day one. I've been doing this for 30 years with this man. We just want to take you on a 21-day journey and give you a little bit of it.
Just want to show you how to take those emotions that hit you, whether from the outside world or yours, and how to switch them really quick so you can keep getting and going towards the things you want. And here's the goal, your number one goal. The number one goal of Vibe 21 is to feel good right now.
Yep.
In this minute right now.
And to stay feeling good.
And if you don't, let's fix it right now. Get back to feeling good right now. And we're going to give you some really good exercises to do that.
Our time is up.
Go to our page. It's going to be awesome. Or whoever brought you in here will get you the Vibe 21 link Monday. That's when we're going to start dropping the live I'm excited. This is like the most excited project I think I've ever done. Because I know what it's done for me. And doing it has reminded me of what it's done for me. And my mentor always said, learn it well enough to teach it. And I'm not a master and I'm not a teacher. I'm not. I am just regurgitating what I've learned. He's a very good
student.
And I hope somebody gets a sentence out of it that does for them what it did for me.
Good things are happening, and they're happening for you.
Yes.
So jump in there. We'll get you guys in the group, and you can share this with all your friends. We are going to help them to define their goals and dreams, get them in front of them, stay in the right mindset until it happens.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers to your best year yet,
Cheers.
2024.
Cheers.
Get your vision goggles on. We're going.
Talk to you guys soon. Talk to you Monday.
Drop in the comments,
521.
521. Share this live. Thank you so much. We're vibing.